Welcome to section 9.7. This is the 78th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll study systems that behave as one but are made of many. We'll answer several questions. What is a distributed computing environment? What everyday technologies rely on it? How do its parts speak across different languages and locations? What makes it especially risky? And how do you actually secure it? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because so much of what you protect is no longer a single box. Picture a global streaming service, its login, its catalog, its recommendations, and its playback all live on separate systems scattered across continents. Yet the user sees one smooth app. On the job, your job is to secure the seams between those pieces, not just the pieces themselves. In a distributed world, the connections are the attack surface. So, what is a distributed computing environment? It is a collection of individual systems working together to deliver one service. So users perceive a single entity rather than many separate servers. These environments coordinate their members toward a shared goal and are built for resilience, reliability, performance, and scalability. Often tolerating the failure of individual parts, they come in several shapes, from classic client-server to layered web architectures with multiple tiers, to peer-to-peer designs like file-sharing networks and blockchain ledgers. Think of a large restaurant chain that feels like one brand to every diner, even though each location, kitchen, and supplier runs on its own. What everyday technologies rely on it? Far more than most people realize. The backbone of the modern internet leans on this model, including name resolution, single sign-on, directory services, mobile networks, massively multiplayer games, and most of the websites you touch daily. It also makes possible advanced designs like service-oriented architecture, software-defined networking, and microservices. Think of the electrical grid behind a city. You never see it, but nearly everything you use is quietly plugged into it. How do its parts speak across different languages and locations? Through an interface definition language, a neutral way to describe how client and server components talk to one another. Its power is that it is independent of both programming language and physical location, so objects written in different languages and running in different places can still connect. Several well-known frameworks provide this kind of glue. Think of a skilled interpreter at an international summit. Each delegate speaks their own tongue from their own seat, yet the interpreter lets them all conduct one shared conversation. What makes it especially risky? The very interconnectedness that gives it power. Because the components are tightly linked, an error or a piece of malware can propagate from one part to the next, and an attacker who compromises a single component can pivot and move laterally to reach the others. On top of that sit the familiar dangers, magnified here. Unauthorized access, impersonation and spoofing, bypassed or disabled controls, eavesdropping and manipulation of traffic, weak authentication and authorization, and gaps in monitoring, logging, and accountability. None of these are unique to distributed systems, but they bite much harder when everything is connected. Think of a row of houses that share their attics. A fire that starts in one can race straight through to every home on the block. How do you actually secure it? You start by respecting the enlarged attack surface. Because members are spread out, sometimes across the globe, you must weigh the threats to each component and to every connection between them. Encryption is essential across storage, transmission, and even processing, and strong multi-factor authentication should be the norm. Watch out for heterogeneity, because a mix of different operating systems, versions, or patch levels multiplies the work of keeping configuration and monitoring consistent. And if your environment sprawls across national borders, you must fold in data sovereignty, since the laws of each country reach the data that lands there. Think of protecting a convoy of trucks crossing many countries. You guard each truck, but also every stretch of road between them, and you obey the laws of every border you cross. So let's bring it together. A distributed computing environment is many systems acting as one, built for resilience and scale across varied architectures. It quietly powers the internet, from name resolution and single sign-on to microservices, and its parts communicate through a language-neutral, location-neutral interface. Its greatest strength, deep interconnection, is also its greatest risk, opening the door to propagation, pivoting, and a wide attack surface. So you secure it with encryption everywhere, strong multi-factor authentication, careful handling of mixed components, and attention to data sovereignty. Guard the connections as fiercely as the nodes, and the whole system holds. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on RooCloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.